Hello, this is Starr Fuentes, and today I'm going to talk to you about a huge topic called Galactic Consciousness. Now, let's start with consciousness. Consciousness is what you're aware of. Are you aware of how you feel in your body? Are you aware of what you're hearing, seeing? How many things can you bring into your consciousness? Well, consciousness is like an iceberg. We see things, perceive things, hear things. They are the tip of the iceberg. What our subconscious, unconscious mind picks up is 80% more. Our conscious mind can handle 5 things plus or minus 4, and our subconscious, unconscious mind can handle 10,000 things. Now, there's been a lot of talk about consciousness and awareness. I want to take it way out there and talk to you about cosmic or galactic consciousness. Now listen to me. Microcosm, macrocosm. What goes on inside of my cells goes on inside of my body, goes on inside of my life, goes on in the community I live in the country I live in, on the planet I live in our solar system, and in the galaxy. You all contribute to cosmic consciousness. Through your photonic DNA, we know that a photon is part of an atom, or like I like to say, atom. Our atoms are atom, and photonic is photon. So long time ago, when I started learning how to materialize things, and I would go through the steps of manifestation and materialization, the key thing in 6 or 7 of the ways to materialize was get a picture, visualize. When your photon, your picture is on, you can bring it into the physical plane. You can have it actually occur. Sometimes not like you want it, sometimes not when you want it. But once your photons are active, everything is connected. Oh my God, how many galaxies are there? Well, you can look that up. How many planets are there? More than you ever imagine. Now, I want to talk to you about how you contribute. Not only do we have solidified DNA in our body, 2 strands, and unsolidified DNA, another 10 strands, which we know that are the 12 strands of DNA. We know that my husband Art may have a couple of different strands than me. You may have a same strand and a different strand than me. I want to talk to you about your lineage. Your lineage is who you are physically, what progress your family has added to earth, whether it be in a career, whether it be through light, through conscious, whether it be through good deeds, service, teaching, healing, whether it's you're vegetarian, whether you're an author of a book, whether you just listen to people. Your cosmic lineage contributes to galactic consciousness. And you might go, oh, I don't know what I do. I don't know. I don't care what you do. How do you be? Can you be silent? Can you be silent enough to let the cosmos, the angels, all the hierarchy, the lessons from your parents, the lessons from your spiritual family, Can you be quiet enough, meditative enough? Can you pray enough to have space for the cosmic consciousness to touch you? Your lineage, I don't care. I don't care what you're being that contributes in your very beingness. You are galactically conscious. And in those works, in those moments of being happy, being sad, aligning yourself with all those different energies, you're contributing to your cosmic lineage. Well, there are collectives, and collectives are spiritual families. I belong to a sacred geometry collective. I belong to a healings collective, an arts collective, and they're not physical, and we don't have any bylaws, and I don't know who the other members are. But energetically, collectively, as our consciousness, when we're conscious of something, we can picture it. Our photonic energy comes together as a group. We come in contact with the big macrocosm. You know, there are multiverses, many dimensions. There are many, many things that are out there. The planet Earth, we can't even measure human consciousness. We have a few good people who have given us some scales, and some of us can look, see, feel how conscious someone is by their state of being, by what they produce in life, by how their heart flows. We don't have a machine to measure consciousness. We don't have anything that scientists can say out there that measures consciousness. I want you to understand that galactic consciousness is the weaving and the braiding of the photonic DNA. I have friends that we talk about writing our books. I have students that we talk about other things. I have students that have become masters who've increased their picture. And look, feel, see the picture on planet Earth and how much love, healing, help, change it needs to come in your DNA. And I'll say that one more time. Your galactic consciousness is in your DNA. Oh my God, I don't even know how many galaxies there are out there. Oh my God, it's huge. It's big. One drop of water. What can it do in an ocean? Well, not very much. But one drop of water can make a plant sprout. One drop of water can give a seed life. And one drop of water, bacteria, viruses, good ones, and vitality in your cells can grow. Each of us, in our own way, contributes to the galactic consciousness. Consciously? Probably not. Aware? Probably not. I'm going to ask you, what picture, photon do you have right now? Do you have goals? Do you have kindness, gratitude, love? Are you get up and go work person? What photo is on right now? Because that is what the galaxy is getting. It's a picture that the humans have of life, of being. It's the moments of silence where we listen to something our ears cannot hear, but our mind and our heart can hear it together, and we can contribute over and over again. You are a force. You are a force that camouflages yourself. You have camouflage. I don't know that I'm contributing to the galaxy. I don't know that I'm contributing to mankind. I don't know. You do not know. You may not know whether you know it or not. Your vibration, your energy, your love, your work, your silence and prayer and meditation. Come here. Go out to your family with your DNA, your spiritual family, to every lineage of type of light worker there is. And most importantly, out into the galaxy. People say to me, "Oh, Starr, when are the aliens coming?" Well, they're not going to come when we ask them. When is consciousness coming to the earth? It's going to happen when we're all conscious of what we be and what we do with choice, not through habit or pattern, with choice that spreads light. And being a good listener, being there for other people, being there for yourself and not being there all the time for other people. Those are the things that reach out. You know, we look at things like black holes in the center of the Milky Way. There's a super black hole, and it takes the energy of the Milky Way, and Earth is a solar system in a galaxy inside the Milky Way. You are the fuel. You are the food. You are the light to galactic consciousness. Can you get over yourself? Can you really get over yourself? Can you get over yourself to understand that being who you are affects every person around you, affects your neighbors, the people in the next car, the people in the grocery line. You never know their names. You may never see them again. Your consciousness, micro, or person to person, for the galaxy, that's micro consciousness, contributes to the force, contributes to the photons. When I tell you, we as a planet are awakening to remember who we are, awakening to remember that doing and being conscious of the big picture. If I throw my trash out by the side of the road, oh wow, we got over that a long time ago. And we made laws, although I still see trash by the side of the road, but I also see this part of the highway is being cleaned by such and such company. We've come a long way. And the pictures we have for world peace, the pictures we have to emanate our photonic DNA are becoming stronger and stronger. And people say, look at the earth, look at the politics, look at the thing. And the more light there is, the more darkness and BS comes to the surface. If you're going to put more light into your self, you're going to need space for it. So something you believed in 10 years ago, wait, last year's highest light may be this year's lowest light. Something you believed in has to change. Something you said was your law, was your rule, was your way of life, has to make space for that. And as we move along on the planet Earth, all the stuff is coming out of the earth, out of the politics, out of the communities, out of the nations. So there will be a great coming of space in humanity, a great coming of galactic consciousness for all those things that have broken down there will be a breakthrough. Your photo of what the world is, your photon, so below, and as above for the galaxy, will help us change. And it's not going to help us change if we march in a march together. What's going to help us change is the pictures we carry in our heart and mind, the beingness that emanates into the macrocosm to a level where that beingness can emanate back to us. Talk about healing. Oh my God. Talk about healing. I had 2 friends who had heart attacks last week. They were in the hospital for 2 days. I remember in the 80s and 90s, you had a heart attack, you stayed in the hospital for a month. While I wasn't paying attention, new treatments, new ways of healing, new medications, new inventions. They might have got a paragraph on the news. They might have had a little bit of news feed on one of my AOL, Twitter, something. But how did I miss this? How did I miss the heart attack that used to take a month now takes 2 days? They unblocked my friend's aorta, and she was home in the 3rd day after she had her heart attack. How do we miss all this goodness? How do we miss this progress? Oh, because drama makes me high. Just like chocolate, cocaine, and heroin. Every time I have drama, there's this great endorphin that fires in my head. And some of us just love drama. Drama gets in your way of everything in your life. But I'd rather spread gossip than light. I'd rather talk about not the goodness, not the progress, not the light of my neighbor who adopted 2 children. Now, why? Why is our personal consciousness on planet Earth limited to these things that are dramatic? There used to be a good newspaper once. I can't even find it anymore. Nobody wants to read the good news. Galactically, we are contributing to showing the things that need to change to each other. The more we grow, the more things on Earth turned up that say, hey, pay attention to the weather. Hey, pay attention to the politics. Hey, pay attention. Pay attention on what picture, what photo you have on, because that is the photo that the galactic center, the macrocosm, is receiving from us. When those photos change, photons are photonic DNA, and we, the force, the light workers, the vegetarians, the yoginis, who, whatever your group, the indigo children, the empaths, I don't care what your group is. You are the contributors to the picture that we are giving the galactic consciousness, that in turn is feeding us the energy to have the major breakthroughs that will occur. I know how much I've been teaching metaphysics for 60 years, and I'm like, wow, things have changed. What it took me a year to teach somebody in 1971, I can teach in 2.5 hours now. What people are grasping, what people are believing, seeing, knowing, the amount of changes that the vast majority of the people make on planet Earth are small. But there are lineages of us. There are families who are conscious about the food, conscious about your words, conscious about the feelings, conscious about the psychicness and the consciousness. Read Read any magazine. Titles and words and things that weren't there 20 years ago are being the now, who's been there for a long time. But there are things coming out right now. Emotional intelligence, 15, 20 years. There are things we're talking about. That something, by the way we became activated so that we could receive this information. Whether you're integrating it, whether you're using it or not in your life, right now is not so important. But the very thoughts of awareness that we are part of a bigger picture, that the consciousness, that black, negative, weird, creepy energy has to leave me, you, politics, commerce, businesses, so that a huge space is left for progressive, loving, light energy. And our DNA, our photonic DNA, which is a small part made out of quarks and hadrons. We're not going to talk about that atom too much, which is feeding the galactic what to send us, what we need to remove, how we need to change. And we keep talking about ascension, change. All these things come. No matter where you are, what you do, you contribute. Whether it's positive, neutral, negative. Hey, what I judge positive or negative in another country, that's the way they live. But our very beingness is contributing to our galactic consciousness. And that is a big thought. Now, if the consciousness includes celestial beings, angelic forms, spirit guides, beings from other planets, groups, whole civilizations, that when they see, feel, know us struggling, how do I be a better star? How do I be a better teacher? What do I need to know to change? What do I need to know so that my silences are filled with thoughts from the angels, so that my prayers multiply the prayers that multiply the prayers? All this is microcosm, macrocosm. Think about it. Don't think about it. You camouflage yourself. You camouflage your actions so that you do not see the proportions that they contribute to galactically. At this point in time, in mankind's progress, in mankind's humanoid's lineage, we cannot measure our own consciousness. How are we supposed to measure galactic consciousness? How much do I count on give and take when the universe shares with me? How much do I measure the unmeasurable? How many times do I blah, 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 blah in my head? After asking spirit guide and angels questions all day, I do not leave silence for any part of the galactic consciousness to send me vibrations, to send me answers. It used to be, we ask people, what do you do? I ask people, how do you be? And they're like, what? What do you be? I think, what did he say? Well, I'm a school teacher. You're a healer of children. You're a healer of education. That is what you be. Did you give up? Maybe you are just a teacher. I want you to stretch yourself. to know that as above, so below. I want your thinking of what as above is beyond the sun, beyond our star. I want your being to know that at this point in our timeline, in our photonic DNA, that we are having breakdown to receive an immense breakthrough. The scientists say, oh, I can't measure this piece of DNA. It is junk DNA. Honey, nobody made any junk DNA. Our DNA stretches from our body from here to the moon 200 and some thousand miles. We can't even see it till DNA starts splitting to be RNA. It's so small. What it tells us, color of our eyes, color of our skin. But there's no DNA for race. Color of our hair. Those are all separate pieces of DNA. What pieces of my physical DNA collect consciousness from the galaxy? What pieces of my etheric, my photonic DNA contribute, share, receive? Oh, come on. Full moon, you know it's going to get crazy out there. Solar flares, whoa, there's weirdness. What happens? Are we missing when we move through the galaxies? Or is that period so long when we move through galactic photonic energy? Are we missing the changes that happen to the physical beings, the way of life here on planet Earth? Look, feel, see, listen. Silence, prayer, meditation. Let it answers come to you from the galaxy. Let us be what they had took a million years to be serene, harmonious. Do they dare stop our progress and say, here, this is the way to do it? The first thing on planet Earth, we had protests and demonstrations. I want to do it my way. I want freedom from the star people. You know, I want you to remember that you are a personality, that you are an individual. Everything you be, see, and do has nothing to do with I. It is a human oneness that vibrates, that rides the waves of frequency out there. And we are getting answers and energy and words that we haven't even invented yet. How hard do you have to listen to hear the galaxy? How hard do you have to listen to hear your own heart? And I don't mean the ba-doom, da-doom, da-doom. I mean what your heart wants. Galactic consciousness seems big, seems crazy. There's so many energies out there. But the law applies. If I starve myself of water, my cells starve of water, they stop being friends to the other cell. The nucleus of my cell, which is even a smaller point, changes the orders, and I am at dis-ease. And as we work outwards, as humans on Earth, behave, and turn their photons, their photonic energies on, the galactic energies will respond faster. The galactic consciousness will grow. I will be 80 in January, and I am telling you, I've seen fast changes here on planet Earth. I don't mean about rivers and mountains and pollution and stuff. I mean in the very souls, the very way of beings, from the first beatnik open mic I went to going to a coffee shop and looking at the auras of the people last week. We are full of light. We may deny it. We may act like it doesn't exist. We are conscious. We are contributors to the galactic consciousness. You can hear it, you can feel it, and you can see it as you prepare yourself to do that. I will go back again to the answer. Silence, prayer, meditation. It's something you belong to that you cannot not belong to. It's something that you add, subtract, multiply, and divide, whether you know it or not. Take a deep breath. And remember, you're a galactic being. Thank you. Bye-bye.